Welcome to Crafty Liz CreeAtions. Today we'll be working on the Unique in a Creek small board. This is the Unique in a Creek small board right here. And I have loaded it up already. See how I've preloaded it. So I did go ahead and added 8 zip ties on row 2 and all the holes for row 3. So altogether, there is going to be 24 of the zip ties, the petals, 24 petals, which brings us over. Here's our 10-inch sign. This sign came from Macy's Signs. She's on Facebook. The mesh we'll be using is the navy horizontal white stripe and the denim blue, or smoky blue or denim blue horizontal white stripe. And you will need 24 of the blue, navy blue, cut 10 by 10, and the blue you'll need 16 for this project, okay? And also I'm using 6-inch zip ties, 4-inch zip ties. A few clips should be right here, and needle nose pliers and nippers. You're gonna need all that. So let me show you how I will fold this petal. I heard that this is called the spade petal, and then one time I heard being called the cape petal, spade petal, cape petal. I don't know. It's nice petal for we're gonna be using it the flat side up. So we'll need 8 pieces of these. So I left 2 to show you how to fold them. So the spade or the cape petal, I'm not sure what it's called. Spade this way and cape this way. I don't know. They're all called different. Okay, so to fold this petal, you will need your 10 by 10 cut. I did cut this with a rotary cutter. I did not heat seal it because, as you can see, all the edges are hidden. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this curved side up, which is this way, curved side up, and turn it this way diagonally, or into a diamond, as we say. And I'm just gonna grab this and put it down to meet this end over here, flatten it out, and here I line up to whatever number. So I'm just gonna line it up at the 18-inch mark, the middle here, and I'm just gonna grab this end and fold it down while holding it up here in the tip. Fold it this way, okay? And you can use clips here if you're a beginner, and fold this one down. I'm trying to line these up. I try to line these up over here, the tips, but it doesn't really matter if you don't. And you have that shape, okay? And here, when I line this up, I go 1, 2, 3 inches up, 2.5, pinch, slide, and slide. And there's your petal, okay? And I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my 4-inch and add it right where I pinched it. You can use rubber bands here if you'd like. Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining Crafty Liz CreeAtions. And I just snip that off, okay? Easy. And we'll do another one. Okay, another spade petal or cape petal. Again, I'm not really sure what it's called, but all the petals out there are called different. Some of them have 3 names. So I'm not sure which one to use nowadays. Okay, 2.5 inches. I pinch and pinch. One thing I failed to mention here, your head of the zip tie should be in the front. And I didn't do that with the first one that I fold. because to me it's important to have this at the front, because this is going to be a stopper for when we add it into the board. Okay, so that's the cape petal. Next one I'm going to show you is the ellie petal. We need 2 of those. We'll make these petals first and then just add them into the board quick and easy. You get, again, I cut this at 10 by 10. So you'll need beads for this one, for the ellie petal. 16 millimeter beads is the size of this one, of these that I'm using. 15 to 20 millimeter beads are good sized beads for when you do the ellie petal or any other petal that I think that you make. Okay, so you get your bead ready. I always have mine there. So again, you put this 10 by 10 cut horizontal white strap navy blue mesh curve set up and turn it this way into a diamond, and you fold here. I'm finding the middle when I do that. So there's the middle, and I need this right there, and again I fold up. Again, you can use clips because it's easier to use clips when you're a beginner. But when you've been doing petals, a lot of petals like this, like I do, you don't need petals. Petals. You don't need clips. What am I saying? Okay, so 1, 2, 3 inches up is where I pinch. So when I do that, 1, 2, 3 inches up, and this one over here is 5 inches long. This one's 3 inches. So it's always almost precise every time you do ellie petal. It's almost always the same size. They look consistent. They look uniformed on the board, and the measuring is what's important if you want to have your petals looking good. So you grab your 6-inch zip tie for the bead part. I grab my bead, feed my zip tie in through the hole, and I feed this zip tie in through right there and zip it up a little bit. Okay, just like that. And I'm just gonna put the knob of the zip tie under here because you don't wanna see that part. Just like that. And I'm just gonna clip that tail off, just like that. And again, when you look at this petal, you see this is curvy right here, right? But this is not. You see the fold. And when you turn it around, this is, you see some of this over here. See that? This one's narrower than this. So what I do to hide that is I turn it around and I put my zip tie head in the front. And so now you don't see that. They look like they're in the same length. Okay? Again, that's just me trying to make a perfect petal, but it works. It looks good every time. You see that one little petal that you don't like when you add them into the board? That's why. You didn't turn it around. Okay, so let's make another one. So again, find the middle. And fold them, just like that. And these tips over here, I try to line them up, but if they don't line up, it's all right, as long as your measurements here to here is just almost perfect. Okay, just like that. Just like that. So that's this last petal. So I didn't make all the petals last night preparing. Except for 2 each. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut that tail. And you see again what I mean. When it's not turned around, you can see most of this end over here. And so I'm just gonna turn that around. Perfect. All right. So the next pedal we'll be making is the 3-loop Liz pedal. It's been a long time I used the Liz pedal. So this is what we're making or using today. So we'll need 2 of the smoke blue or denim blue. I'm not sure what kind of blue this is. And 1 of the navy. And you'll need clips for this one. So I'll make this right here first, and then again curve side up, turn it this way into a diamond, and I'm just gonna put this over here, flatten it out. I'm just gonna grab this tip over here and just put it just slightly under the fold right there, and I'm gonna fold it over again. And here I'm just gonna do that. There's where our clips come in. Okay, so you need to do 2 more like that. Just like that and like that. Grab another one. And just like that. And here is the fun part of making the Liz pedal, is putting the loops inside of each other. So what I usually do is I usually just hold it right here, hold the loop right there, and when I clip this off, but if you find something easier, you can do that. So put that in there. Again, grab it just like that and then pin it and put that in there. And here you can put these together. Okay, kind of tricky when you do this part. What I did to get this look right here is I hold it like this, and here I grab that blue one and I pull it while holding it like this. I try to have an inch apart of the top of the loop for the 2 inside loops. Try about an inch apart. Half an inch, don't matter. So just like that. And here you can clip it once you have your loops. Once you're happy with the loops, the way the loops look. And what I've been doing is I've been measuring this where I added the zip tie. I've been measuring it out about 5.5 inches out. So 5.5 inches is 15.5. I'm just gonna keep that right there so it's easier because this is thick right here. And it's easy when you add your pedal. Your zip tie. I keep saying pedal. What's going on? Okay, there we go. So now you can zip it when you measure it out to the 5.5 inches. Now you can zip it up fully. Okay, clip that off. And cut off the tail. And there's your Liz pedal. So let's make another one. Okay. Just watch as I fold. I won't explain this part because I already did with that one there. Okay. One more loop. loops inside each other. Like that. Okay. So now we're gonna put them like that, and the other one a little bit more, a little bit more. So when you do the Liz petal this way, it's your preference of how far apart you want your loops to be. They look good when they're like this. Okay, so 5.5 inches is right here. I don't know why I chose 5.5 inches. It's just 5 inches. Don't matter how long you have your petals. It's just that's where the folds meet over here at the 5.5 inches, and I'm trying to get all that into a zip tie, so this way they won't the mess won't unravel or anything, won't fray. Okay. There we go. So that's all the petals. That's the 3 petals that we're using. So now the fun part begins. Here's our tenant sign. I love this. So wintry. So the spade petal or the cape petal, 1 petal each per zip tie on row 2. Zip that up. And you see frays like this, it's because I didn't want burn. But once they're locked in there, they're good. Okay, so another one. So 1 petal per zip tie all the way around on row 2. You see, I just figured I turned the knob of the zip tie around. I guess I didn't, so I made a mistake. All I gotta do is turn that around in there, and there we go. Easy fix. And yeah, this is good right here. So last petal on row 2. See that? You just need 8 petals. 8 of the spade petals. Because there's a lot of petals out there, and they're all named different. Sometimes I don't even want to say the name of a petal, except for my right there. That's the 8 petals in there. So now we're gonna be adding our Liz petal. Let's add our Liz petal. Where the large gap holes, which is the serrat holes, we refer to them as the serrat holes. That's where I'll be adding the Liz petals. Okay, make sure I don't make a mistake. No, yeah, there we go. So again, making sure my zip tie is facing up. The knob of the zip tie is facing up. And when you add your petal, I found this out a long time ago, is you hold your petal right there, hold it firmly while zipping it up. This way your petal won't go back and forth like that. See that? It won't move sideways on you. Okay, let's skip this one. That's the Ellie petal one. And we'll add this. There we go. This is like, this wreath reminds me of a snowflake, since it's a wintry one, right? I know it's dark, but I love these colors together. You can use your imagination, use any color palette of your choice to make a snowflake. And the beads, of course, is where is all the little white circles, snow on the trees. That reminds me of those. So that's looking good, I think. So remember, friends, when you do this type of wreath, you can use your own colors. Again, you can do whatever you want to do. And so 24 and 16, that's 40 petals altogether. 40 10 by 10 cuts, so that's just over a roll of mesh. But you can always do 2 colors here to mesh, and you'll use 1 roll of mesh. So you can, but I think this looks good. Like I've done wreaths before with only 2 loops, 2 loop Liz petal, and 3 loops, 4 loops I haven't tried. Maybe a 4 loop petal would look good on a large board. Okay. Last Liz petal on the board. Oh my gosh. Alrighty, so we'll cut those tails off so you won't get mixed up once we add the alley petal in there. There we go. And that's how that looks. Alrighty, so now we're going to be adding our LE petals onto the zip ties that we skipped. There we go. Oh yeah, that looks good. So if you have leftover, like I have a lot of leftover, like maybe 8 to 10 beads sitting around because I've used most of them up. This is a good way to use them up. It's right here. So again, remembering our native beadwork. Keeping that in mind when I make this with the Liz petal, especially. That's how that Liz petal came to be. I try to find a way to mimic my culture onto the board. And this was it. The Liz petal was it. Go last. LE petal. Is it the last one? Oh, look, I have an extra one. Oh, I missed over here. Last one. I'm not kidding this time. I skipped one over here. So that's the last one. All right. So we have all our petals in there. So let's cut off the tails. Shall we? I like dark colors. Sometimes I like bright colors, dark colors, natural. I like all kinds of colors. Now with this kind of design right here, I'm just, oh, my mind is just going non-stop here with colors I might do. Okay, so here's all its, hold on, here it is with all the petals in there, I was gonna say. So now we're gonna be adding our 10-inch sign, and boom, you don't see this petal a lot, it's just peeking through. This one over here too, but already just finding the holes. I'll flip the wreath backwards here and show you where I attached everything. Petals are like, there you go. And that's all.